So, I've said this before on Twitter. When WWE allows themselves to truly try, put in the effort, put in the content, they can be the best in the world at what they do. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. The culmination piece of Sami Zayn's storyline. Same Uso, y'all. The honorary Usos. And the beginning, and for what could be described as the beginning of the end of the Orion dynasty in WWE. The end of the bloodline, the end of the supremacy that has been Roman Reigns, that has gone all the way back to The Rock, to Alpha, to Sikoa. This is the night where it all begins to come to its tragic, poetic end. A 6 billion tragedy is set to take forth, and it all starts tonight at the Royal Rumble. Damn it. And here's the thing. Now, Roman Reigns has fought Kevin Owens before in a pretty damn good last man standing match. Like, I'll say it was pretty good. Even with the ending of the delay in trying to get the handcuffs removed, but it just added more to the tension in my opinion. But yeah, I was like, okay, these two have chemistry in the ring. They can go. But the thing is not the match this time. This time it's the spectacle storytelling with Sami Zayn and where his allegiance lies. Because after almost getting kicked out by Roman Reigns screaming out, Solo! Which made me think Jabba the Hutt screaming at Solo every single chance he got because Solo wouldn't pay his money. Those were the days. Jey Uso, out of all people, comes to Sami's defense and tells him like it is after all this time of distrust and distension and breaking character because Sami Zayn is just that damn good of a comedian. In fact, I'm pretty sure he'll probably be better than Dolph Ziggler if he ever gets into the comedian improv routine. Sorry, Dolph, you'll probably be out of a job soon. They'll book Sami more. Roman Reigns deciding Sami is not guilty for now. And Sami helps Jey Uso retain the tag titles on Raw's 30, Raw XXX, which, you know, I'm pretty sure someone in the industry of adult entertainment would be giggling and whatnot. So, Roman Reigns decided that Sami must pass one ultimate test to prove where his loyalties lie. Roman Reigns or Kevin Owens. Obey every command of Roman Reigns and become better for it. To stand in the Island of Relevancy. And we got this match with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Okay, so allow me to just say this as delicately as possible. The match was not as good as their last man standing match. Like, I know saying that it's a lot easier to say because they had ultra violent hardcore wrestling, well, could be what describes for WWE violence these days when they go to their absolute peak nowadays in the PG environment. But yeah, Roman and Kevin Owens, it was an okay match. It felt like it got trimmed down a little bit, and it looked like it was going to go to a peak moment like it usually does, and then it just ends right then and there. Specifically, when because the story isn't about the match, it's about Sami Uso, y'all. And here's the thing about the ending a little bit. Right before the match ended, Roman Reigns decided to spike Kevin Owens' head into the steel steps. And I don't mean like spike his head to the steel steps like, you know, he just lands on his side of the head. No. He had the jagged edge. His head collided with the jagged edge, and I was like, Okay, if it's not bleeding profusely by the time this match is over, I'm going to very strongly say he's been concussed. Because, oh my god. Like, even Paul Heyman and Sammy were like, I think we went too far with this. Like even the commentators were like, okay, I know the commentators have a job to do and to sell the story and everything, but I think even they were like, yeah, we didn't get told this was going to be part of the plan. I don't even think this was part of the plan. And there was a botch moment with Kevin Owens, and Corey Graves just outright admitted, yeah, that's the case. It's a botch. It's not going to be hidden well. We're not going to do what AEW does, where they have a way to actually explain something and make a story out of it. No. That's not what this match needs. It's a botch. That's all it is. And that's it. We're not going to get a segment to justify Kevin Owens slipping because it's a high rope move. It's not like the Dark Order moment where Brody Lee ordered the weak one gone, which was awesome. And we're not going to get, Michael Nakazawa rubbing baby oil on the top of the rope to justify Matt Sydal's fall in his big debut. Like, those are for other reasons, to help enhance the lore a bit, in my opinion. But Roman Reigns and KO don't need that. They're here to mostly say, we're going to do the match, then we're going to do the aftermath, and then we'll decide what happens next. Roman Reigns retains, as if anyone was freaking surprised by that, and no sign of The Rock. Tragically, Rock said, I'm not in shape. What? Yeah, Rock had to come out and say he's not in the best shape needed for the role of WrestleMania, and I was like, could you give an example? Why do I have to wait for someone else to explain to me what The Rock means by in shape? Because I'm looking at Rock and he looks like he's built like a freaking tank. In fact, even when in Black Adam, when he wore his suit, it wasn't outfitted with muscle pads. He said, no, I can do it. I'm just ripped. If they're going to go the argument of he's not having the cardio needed to do the match, fine. Just Rock says that, because when I hear the word The Rock and not in shape, I'm like, have you looked yourself in the mirror, man? You are ripped. You're so ripped, you're probably big enough to, you were even so big and muscular that you couldn't fit in the car for a Netflix movie. That, yeah. And yeah, that was one of the things everyone was hoping for to see at the Royal Rumble, because there were some hints suggesting The Rock was going to be there, because, the electrifying stuff, all the big teases they were doing. And they opted, and The Rock said at literally the last minute he couldn't attend. This isn't a case where WWE, I'm not harping on WWE this time for that, because The Rock at least came out and said it, whereas WWE clearly had the intention to get The Rock there, built the show like it was going to be The Rock's moment coming out with Roman Reigns at the end of the show, and it just doesn't happen, and you're just left what the hell? And you then learn that, Rock had filming to do, and this was planned months in advance, so WWE could have fixed this whole situation and rewrote the show a bit just to get rid of the Rock themes out, but they didn't, and now everyone was confused and pissed off. At least here there's at least a more context to it, so it wasn't rage inducing like Survivor Series was last time. So the Bloodline, specifically Jay, prepare to honor Sami Uso as a full-fledged Bloodline Uso member, but Roman Reigns is nah. Let's go beat this guy up first. And then they start pounding away at Kevin Owens. And I'm thinking and then they decide to go Young Bucks style on them. The Usos decide to do the super kick. And heck, I was half expecting the way Michael Cole was acting, and with Pat McAfee back especially, I was half expecting them to do a super kick counter, because that was just how absurd it got. And Sami Zayn's just like, I made a terrible mistake. And he's trying to convince Roman he doesn't need to do this, it's over. He needs to focus on Cody, the Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the Homelander parody character he plays, and the American whatnot corporations rock. Breaking down in tears for some reason almost every single occasion he gets. But Roman's just like, you're right, Sammy. I should focus on something else. So you did kill it for me. So he gives Sammy the chair. Sammy doesn't want to do it. He's trying to say there's no point in left in this after they had handcuffed him and repeatedly super kicked him like Kevin Owens like multiple times. And then Roman Reigns goes all Roman Reigns on Jey Uso and starts yelling and berating him and getting into his face and even shoving his face into his, and tells him to do it. He looks back at Kevin Owens, gets ready to be like proud that he's finally got the power. He has the whole strength. He has the whole world in his hands. And then Sami Zayn strikes back in the Roman Reigns in the Emperor's back. In a very similar ending to the Shield, Roman Reigns is like he had a PTSD flashback, thinking, "Holy crap! I am seriously sucking at this relationship stuff, right?" Because Roman Reigns had that face on him like he just had a huge non-flashback where he just remembered when Seth Rollins did it to him. He even felt the same way, which is kind of awesome. So those minor details needed. And the Usos are just freaking out. Sikoa is like ready to pounce. Jey Uso especially is taking this hard. And it seems like Sammy's trying to explain why he did what he did to them, because he thinks he could reason with the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Except Jimmy and Solo are backing Roman up and beat the living crap out of him and decimate him and brutalize him. However, Jey Uso is noticeably not doing anything. He's trying his best not to break down in tears and hold up his rage and anger in him. I think I know why. It's not because he feels betrayed by Sami. Well, maybe it's partially that. I actually wrote this on Twitter last night after the show was over, thinking my theory might be correct. This is what I said. There isn't a reason for Jay's sudden breakdown. Like, he breaks down, cries, and looks like he's about to have a panic attack. Like, all the years worth of anguish is coming out. Great acting, supporting character. We need him for more roles in Hollywood, probably. In fact, before I get more into that detail, Roman was even crying. Like, Roman, Jimmy were all crying. Solo Sikoa was trying his best to look awesome. I think it was because of how much of a deal this was. Because Sami was there for the laughs, and then it got emotional, it got serious, it got so great having him around, and now they have to, like, basically, damn it, we have to get rid of this guy. Tonight's execution night. But here's my explanation for Jay's breakdown and departure from the ring. Like, breaking down, not willing to tie with not to hang with the bloodline after what they were doing. Saying, Roman Reigns heading into the show was treating Sami Zayn much like Jay during the entire faction's existence since Roman Reigns first won the title. Jay starts to feel a kinship with him now all of a sudden, feeling like Sammy's proved himself and that he can earn it. That he's earned this right to be part of the family and everything. But what Jay doesn't realize is that this is the thing. Beforehand, Jay was treating Sami much like how Roman treated him, the cycle of abuse going onwards. And then Jay finally decided to open his heart up to Sami. So basically, this is a bros love story essentially that's not involving Kevin Owens. So expect the custody of Sami Zayn to happen again with Jay and Kevin Owens. So yeah, and And yet, Sammy did, when Roman Reigns got in his face, screamed at him, and repeatedly berated him, he did what Jay couldn't bring himself to do, was stand up for himself. And now Jey Uso is in an existential crisis mode, because now it's like, do I back my family up after they've all been given so much favoritism by Roman, and Roman Reigns has done nothing but yell at me over the years, causing me to be like him on Sami Zayn? Or do I go with the guy who always had faith in me even when I had no faith in him, and who did everything with his cousin to prove he was worthy, only to be like told, only to stand up for himself and stand by his convictions where Jay could not? That's why I think this is all going. I get the feeling if WWE does their cards right with this could be for a long time, hopefully, if they keep the ramifications up with consequences. This could be the last year of the Usos. Like, let's be real. If they do that, split the Usos up, Jimmy goes somewhere else, Jay goes somewhere else, that's going to be an interesting route they could take with this. They have a chance to break the team up in an organic, emotional way, and then keep the status quo of the breakup of the Usos, the destruction of the Owen dynasty, of the Samoan dynasty here, the supremacy of WWE. And I even compared it to, the Dance of the Dragons from House of the Dragon, because I'm on a fantasy nutcase still, because I've been watching too much of Game of Thrones again. Mostly House of the Dragon. I have not watched the main series yet in a long while, but I've been reading the book again more. And I even wrote this: the dance of the Owen dynasty begins, much like House Targaryen and House of the Dragon will fall in the dying of the dragons. Because that's the vibe I'm getting from this. This is what I was advocating for previously before the Rumble. Whereas the end of Sami Zayn's tenure with the Bloodline will ultimately split the Bloodline. Like, the family's gonna fall apart. Like if this is what Roman does to people who gave their loyalty, then what's he gonna do to family members after he treated them like crap? And now Jay's in this existential crisis mode. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso are backing him, but they don't know where everyone else's loyalties lie. Like, if they had the whole family at Raw 30 had, the sickness and travel delays not prevent them from doing it, it would have been actually interesting to see where that court would have went if they did the acknowledgement, if they were capable of doing the acknowledgement ceremony and the tribal court, and they could have showcased the family being split down the middle and have it go in full on civil war. Like, Solo Sikoa joins Roman, Jimmy breaks off and joins with Roman, Jey Uso and backs Sami and Kevin Owens. Like, they have a chance to extend the Bloodline saga for probably another year. And if Rock doesn't do this, I am convinced, like, if Rock doesn't work this year, then it's done. But if they could do it, they could probably try and contact Rock saying, okay, look, I know you can't do it this year for weird reasons that you could have recontextualized better, just saying about your cardiovascular endurance, but we could use you to give Roman Reigns an out. Like, he fights Rock and Roman Reigns wins, but the family is forever fractured. It can't be repaired with a violent beatdown over the Great One. He can't do it anymore with the Usos. He can't do it anymore with Solo. And Roman Reigns starts to have his empire collapse from infighting and violence. Like, that's the story they should definitely go with, in my opinion. This has the potential to be a great falling faction story, a falling dynasty, a falling empire storyline, the end of the Samoan dynasty supremacy in WWE. Much like how Bullet Club Civil War was going, but then they just broke up. Then the Elite just quit and just gave up the Bullet Club rights to Jay Whitehall and his group, which, that was unceremonious. That was unceremoniously sucking. And then they were finally going back on that with the AEW New Japan crossover. And then that fell apart when Adam Cole got hurt and concussed. And then the Undisputed Elite broke up because Bobby Fish wanted out. Kyle O'Reilly got neck fusion surgery. And then the all-out brawl had happened, so let's hope they don't have any disasters from that, though Nia Jax is back in WWE, it seems, based off of her merchandise now suddenly popping out of nowhere when she wasn't wearing anything merchandise-wise. So looks like we're going to have to contact Naomi for this, because I think that's the only way they're going to somehow get Nia Jax involved. If they get Nia Jax involved, then they have to bring Naomi in. If they can get the issues sorted out, especially now more so problematic with Vince running around in the office trying to take back control, and after having like multiple events saying everything is perfectly fine, this is not leading to Vince coming back. He is not coming back like he thinks he's Napoleon Bonaparte of France, who left after an empire collapse, then came back, ruled for another 100 days, and then left. No, this is clearly just a sale pitch. Definitely nothing bad's gonna happen. Hopefully. Like, we lost Stephanie, but she wanted out anyways. But we were gonna demote her, but still. So, where does this all go from here? Well, I gave my opinion on that front. Roman Reigns, it is being said that Sami Zayn is gonna fight Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, though honestly, it was reported that WWE, that Triple H and Vince apparently have something in common, and they don't see Sami Zayn as a future face of WWE, which is a missed opportunity right there. I was like, are you sure we should not put him in a night one main event with Roman and have Cody dethrone the Universal title? Or hell, make it a triple threat match where Sammy beats Cody and then Cody beats Roman, and his crown is taken, and his 2 crowns are taken. Like, you could do that, or just have both, or have both Sammy and Cody fight Roman on separate nights. Like, come on. Like, this story is just too good to just have it be Roman Reigns fights him at Elimination Chamber, Jey Uso chooses his side, chooses Roman Reigns over Sammy. We get the Usos versus KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, and it's just like generic tag team title run. Like, come on, I feel like Sammy has earned the opportunity to at least have a run with the world title. Like, he doesn't need to be on it for like over 8,000 days or be as long as Bruno Sammartino. It's just give him a sizable run with the belt, like Kofi Kingston, but have a much better ending than the one that pissed everyone off for like 6 seconds. And have it be against a full-time wrestler still. But anyways. But yeah. Those are my thoughts on this whole big masterpiece ending storytelling. The match wasn't, it could be left a lot desired. Brutal ending with the steel steps to the skull, to the back of the head, to the point I'm still thinking he was concussed, because how in God's name was he not bleeding profusely? I thought for sure there would be a deep cut in the back of his head and he's just pouring blood everywhere, which probably would have enhanced the visual effect. That would be a concern to everybody. And we'll see probably on Monday Night Raw some information, but they'll probably leave the meat and potatoes to SmackDown, because Roman Reigns is not going to go wrestle on SmackDown or anything. He's just going to do a segment here or two, then do the whole stuff on SmackDown. But this was your host, Eric Brown of Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The WrestleVerse. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble 2023. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all again next time. Peace and take care, and have a good day, everybody, and keep on watching. Peace.